So recently, Chrono Odyssey had its first closed beta. Chrono Odyssey is developed by a subsidiary of NPixel called Chrono Studio and being published by Kakao Games. And yeah, the hype was pretty off the chart over the last couple of weeks leading up to the closed beta. A lot of us were looking forward to it because of the trailers we saw. It looked really good. The dark atmosphere, it looked very much Prometheus-like, and you know, it's something unique from what we see in other MMORPGs, so we were really excited for it. The game looked amazing. It seemed really fun from what we saw in terms of the gameplay trailers and how it played, so we're really looking forward to it, and a lot of people were disappointed at the closed beta. Honestly, I don't think it was even at a beta stage. It's probably at an alpha, if that, because it was very janky. It was very rough in terms of movement, in terms of combat. The graphics weren't great. It wasn't what we saw in the trailers. The performance was absurdly bad in some areas. Like, bro, I'm not running a 50 series or anything, but I heard even people with the best rigs, you know, were having it rough, and as expected. This is a test, it is beta, so hopefully they can fix a lot of those things. But you know, the real issue here that we had is that we were really hyped. We saw, you know, something really amazing in those trailers, but what was delivered was very much subpar, like very below the expectation that they set through those trailers. Like, you know, it's completely fair that people are upset because those trailers looked amazing. Some of the areas looked pretty cool, but for the most part, it was a stark contrast to what we got. So let's take a look at what the community has been saying, at least on YouTube from the content creators' perspective. It was pretty harsh, I must say. So Chrono Odyssey is a scam, not great. Lazy Peon, I think he tweeted out very early on that this is just a worse New World, which was 100% apt. We'll talk about that. But yeah, it's like, you know, Chrono Odyssey is in trouble. I was in Canon's stream quite a bit, and you know, he was really excited to play it. I mean, you know, you can't blame anyone for being excited to play a game that looks cool. The trailer said something, but what we got was something entirely different almost. Waydot went off on it as well. Don't play this. Yeah, valid criticism, because you know, it wasn't even close to what we were expecting. They should have set the narrative. They should have set the tone on what was coming in the beta. You know, they should have shared actual footage from the beta build itself. I hear that there is a developer build that wasn't released to us in beta, which is apparently further ahead, but what's the point of that? Shouldn't we be testing, you know, the latest version? I'm not sure. So they should have set the expectations. Kakao kind of, you know, they really dropped the ball actually. They should have been on top of this. They saw all the hype that was coming. I was in Canon stream, and you know, everyone was like talking really in depth about like how they're doing the skills, how they're doing the systems and everything. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere, but no one could have known when we got in that, you know, it was that far behind the expectations. So, you know, really can't put the blame on any of the content creators. I mean, this isn't even a paid version of the game. There wasn't any founder packs or anything that were being sold. No one spent a dime to play this beta. So any hate towards content creators for getting excited for a new game coming out that looks cool, I mean, can you blame them? There's not much going on in the MMO space right now. So when something new is coming out and it looks good, you can't help but get excited. You can't blame them, especially when there wasn't any money involved. No one was trying to sell you any packs. You weren't buying your way into the beta. Imagine paying $200 for that, huh? Then you would have had a reason to be mad, but that's not what happened. It was just, you know, very much below expectation. Now let's talk about the other elephant in the room, the copying situation with New World. Of all the games you can take inspiration from, you got World of Warcraft, you got Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, even Black Desert, RuneScape, Albion. There's many games out there which host thousands and thousands and thousands of players. But of all the things you can take inspiration, or, you know, let's call it inspiration, let's be nice, right? But all the things that you can probably copy from, like, you had to pick New World. New World, you saw New World and you're like, that one, yes. Come on. All right, so let's jump right into it. Look at it. Look at this. So this was on Reddit for the past week, and someone did a comparison between New World and how it was in Chrono Odyssey. Check this out. So we have this little siege encampment. Look at the structure of it, the guard towers and stuff. Here's New World. Look. The structure is very, very similar. You might think, okay, maybe, you know, they might have got inspiration from the same place. Let's keep going. This is inside. Little 2 staircases, podium. Look at the banners here and the overall structure. This is New World. Oh, look at that. Staircases, banners, overall structure. Okay, maybe they're just kind of similar. Oh, This is the top view from inside. This is New World. Okay, now it's getting sketchy, real sketchy. Look at this. Look at the similarity. Look at all the stairs and everything. Bro, literally 1-to-1. Look at this other portion here, this other angle. Pretty much like, oh my God, the structure of it and everything. Like Chrono Odyssey's trailers and everything that they talked about, trying to be unique and everything in terms of the aesthetics they were going for and the world they were building, they have some really good ideas. Why do you need to copy these things? Like the basics. I mean, you already got the whole weapon system being really similar, 2 weapons, swapping between the 2. I mean, the gathering system, the life skill systems, they're all very similar. There's already a lot of similarities, and it's okay for games to be similar in systems. I mean, these all do stem from, you know, very similar places. But this now, like the most basic thing should be designing like structures and stuff. This should be the fun part, like being able to build the world and telling a story through the architecture, through the structures that you place in the games and stuff. But check this out. This is in Chrono Odyssey. There's a little opening here, this little store thing here, staircase here, New World, boom, boom, boom. This other angle here, little store-like things here, little stairs here. Oh, look at that, same thing. Like, wow. And looking out from here, this outcropping here, I think that what they're looking at is the town over here, like the placement of it. So in New World, it was also just a little bit off like this. So, you know, it's very much the same. Inside the tent, very much similar structure here as well. Outside here, let's take a look at this. This big tent here, a small tent there, a little stuff over here. Okay, there's that little stuff on the ground, isn't there? Hey, there you go. They made a little change, I guess. So yeah, as you can see, there has been a really egregious amount of copying going on here. When you have like this whole idea of building this amazing world, which is going to be so cool, something that hasn't been done before in MMORPGs, that whole Prometheus vibe, I love it. I love how dark it is, and it's very sci-fi, but melded to the fantasy world that they place us in, and I like the way it was looking. But why do you need to copy New World of all things? Of all games you could pick, I mean, New World had some good systems, but I don't think it was the best combat system or weapon system. I don't think it had the best life skill system. It was fun though. I mean, like the life skill and the way it worked for, you know, the first month or so, or maybe the first few weeks. However, they could have done a lot better. I mean, this should have been the cool stuff, like designing structures, castles, siege towers, you know, camps and stuff. Like this should have been something that you enjoy doing and make it as unique as possible. There's no reason to be just copying it. Maybe it's beta and they were looking, okay, we just need something quick for the beta, but that's no excuse. A AAA company like this, nah. So yeah, guys, is what it is. I mean, we were all excited for the, you know, for the game, and I still am excited to play it when it does come out. I want to try it, provided it's not too expensive. Certainly not dropping $60 for the game. I mean, if it's only a little bit of a copycat of New World, but you know, it is an unfortunate situation. After I played the beta, I was pretty, you know, in a positive light, like, hey, it's a beta, you know, it's nothing big. It's not like the actual release or something. Surely they have time to fix it. Maybe they should have called it alpha. It shouldn't be dubbed a beta. But you know, after seeing the whole New World thing going on here, then I lost a lot of hope in terms of like what they're capable of. If they are capable of making all these unique things that they touted, but then ended up copying New World to this extent, it's unfortunate. But a lot of people are upset about it. A lot of content creators are upset about it, and rightfully so. They should have tempered the expectations. They should have been more honest with what we were going to see in the beta. They showed us the world in those trailers and it looked amazing and polished and really nice, but what we got was like very subpar to what it was, like what we saw. So it's very unfortunate that this is how it played out, but at the same time, we didn't spend any money. Don't mold over this. Don't lose sleep over this. I'm sure not many of you are, but people were pretty upset. Like, guys, it's just a game and we didn't have to spend money for this beta, so at least there's that. They could have sold us beta packs or something, or founders packs to join the beta. That would have been horrendously worse. So thank God they didn't, and hopefully they learn from their mistakes. They can phase out all those New World copies. They could start varying the systems a lot more than what we've already seen. They can polish the combat, the movement, and the entire world, just make it better. Because they have a lot of work to do. I doubt this game's coming out in 6 months. They really shouldn't release it in 6 months. It's not ready, and they have a lot of work to do, because this whole parallels to New World, it puts them in a very bad light, and whatever success they could have had, you know, kind of perishes with knowing that they're copying New World of all games. I mean, New World, after some time, it became a decent game, but it had a lot of issues, guys. So let's see what they do. Hopefully they do learn from their mistakes. They can walk back a lot of these actions they've taken and give us something unique and original to them. So is what it is. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out at twitch.tv/I'mPansy where I stream. Until next time, peace.